Show&tell, hi guys, I'm Judy, and today I'm going to be watching One Piece episodes 540, 541, and 543. In the last episode, we heard from Jinbei about, the past, about kind of the conflict between humans and fishmen, and about these two figures who were helping the fishmen in their own way. We had the tiger dude, I'm sorry, I don't remember his full name, that released the slaves, the fishermen slaves, and made a pirate group out of them. And then we had Otohime, the queen, who was trying to bridge between humans and fishmen, and yeah, that didn't exactly work, but she was trying. And Jinbei also took responsibility for everything that Arlong did, pretty much. Or he said it was his fault because he set him there or something. So we have to deal with that. Yeah. Let's get into this episode. Check out my Patreon for full reactions. Subscribe. Let's go. Tiger. That's the tiger dude. I think. There was okay. And he's human. Oh, and he also has a mermaid. That's the queen? But she's not. Is she a mermaid? Doesn't look like it. She has a dress she dresses like a mermaid, kind of. Or to make it look kind of like a mermaid. Badass. Badass queen. Oh. Did she hit him that hard? Oh, he is a fishman. Yeah, okay. Wow. I don't know. I mean, but if they're dying of hunger, I don't know if they care. I mean, I'm assuming he's not the only one who is. I mean, that's one way to deal with criminals, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming there are a lot of people who actually live in poverty. Okay. I'll say. What? But how? No. Yes. No. She was something. That's for sure. Yeah, it's not. But there are other types of people out there, I guess. That's. But you really want to leave your home? Yeah, it's great. But it's a big step, and you don't know how they will treat you. And like I understand it, but it's not. Yeah. Like, why would they need to leave their home just to hopefully like befriend humans that, you know, they don't really know how they're going to treat them. How did you give birth to her? You're not gonna slap her? She was very idealistic, and I mean, she was trying to do something. That's pretty incredible. Oh boy. I mean, the fact that, you know, humans, like, it's true that they only run across humans who are pretty not great. 30 years old. But still, the fact that they're, you know, it makes you feel like, you know, nobody really cares, and that you have to take the brunt of all these pirates coming by. Exactly. Like, did the queen try to do anything about that, for instance? Oh boy. And you can definitely understand this resentment. Yeah, those are signatures for those who want to move to the human, to the surface. Oh. Oh. Oh, they all like him. Oh boy. What? It's not a good look. So things are good. Yeah. That's a lot of trust. Yeah, it's not that easy. Like to hold on to an ideal. Was that part of freeing the slaves? Yeah. What's the mission?
時として使命を超える仁義がある。こうして彼を慕うかつての魚人街のクセ者たちが集結した。
ようこそ海賊官業へ。この先は世界が相手になる。
Oh, okay.
元奴隷たちと、
Mm-hmm.
そうでない者たちを識別されぬよう、奴隷の烙印を覆い隠す太陽の刻印を全員が体に刻み込み、太陽の海賊団は結成された。
You can definitely understand where it came from. Okay, that was really interesting. This whole history and getting to know Otohime a little bit, even though she is very, I get the feeling that she's very idealistic and she wants to believe in this better world and that there are better people out there, and that if they only try to bridge, the misunderstanding, then they can be friends. And I mean, I'm sure that part of that is true. But there are a lot, like, she was kind of like saying like, oh, all the humans we meet are like pirates and nobles and all of them are bad. But like, the fact that you meet only them lets you know kind of that they're free to do whatever they want. Like, I don't know, like getting to know like the other humans, I'm sure that could have been like a very nice thing to do, but I don't know how much that would have helped you. I mean, maybe. Like if, like to spread kind of the idea that fishmen are not bad, or like they're actually like people, or they deserve to, but it would have had to, spread among, I guess, the common people. And I don't know how much influence those people would have had, and I mean, the world government itself, like they don't do anything. Even if like, we know that they allowed the Fishman Kingdom or the Yuga Kingdom to join, the world government and stuff. Like, they kind of acknowledged their existence and stuff in an equal way, I guess, to other human kingdoms and stuff. But like in terms of what's happening, in the field, I guess, like it didn't really change anything, and fishmen are still being treated like second, like not even second best, like as fish, as prey, as so as much as like Otohime's way of like dealing with stuff, I don't see how that would have really made a difference in the long run. I mean, maybe it could have, in the very long run, to make friends with like humans and become like an established kind of something in their world, that they can just dismiss like nothing. And that, I mean, maybe those humans would have learned to care about like the fishermen as like their neighbors and stuff like that, their friends. But against, the pirates who are running rampant and the nobles who can do whatever they want, I don't know if it would have made like enough of a difference to really matter. But again, I mean, to some degree, maybe she understood that. Like she was saying, let's not just do nothing, let's do something. It did sound like, it was kind of desperate, like, let's find something that we can do in this situation. But there was something about it that was a bit too idealistic. Also, it made me wonder, like, like there was this one person, that's one fishman who had trouble. I mean, he had a shop, he had a way to provide for his family, and then it was burned down, and then he, became desperate enough that he had to start stealing and stuff. So that's something that you can kind of remedy. But what about all those fishermen who were born, into poverty without a way to get out of that, like the Fishman district where, there are orphans that nobody cares about and they can do whatever they want, and there's like no real regulation, and everyone's afraid of them in some way, or like it made me wonder what the queen was doing about that, because it didn't seem like she even like nothing, like it's kind of easy to cry about someone who is usually like a good person, I guess, in some way, and then he strays because he's desperate, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna help you, I'm sorry that I didn't notice and stuff. But someone whose entire life is like, that's all he knows how to do because he doesn't have any other way to exist, like that's a bigger problem that is a lot harder to deal with. And it's especially if it's widespread and nobody notices, nobody cares about, because that's what it felt like. It felt like the Fishman district, like nobody really gave a shit about them, or like people were like afraid of they were just doing whatever they wanted, there was no actual, like, I don't know, no one was really overseeing things there. So it felt to me like there were problems within the kingdom that she wasn't really addressing, and she was thinking about, oh, how are we going to deal with the humans? And I mean, I understand, because the humans are definitely a big problem as well. And I mean, the treatment of the humans, and especially the human pirates, are the ones that is what kind of influenced, you know, Arlong, for instance, to make a pirates group of his own that would finally stand up for themselves and stuff. But it came like from, you know, it was the human treatment, but it was also the fishman treatment that, you know, I mean, Jinbei was like, it seemed like the exception to the rule in some way, that he managed to get out of there, and he, you know, and he became a soldier, and he felt like he was important for the Fishman Kingdom and stuff. But even then, it felt he was very different. Like, he felt like, you know, he wasn't really passionate about any of it. Like, he was just kind of like doing things kind of because. And he said like, oh, I enjoyed protecting, you know, the island or something, but it felt like he wasn't passionate about any of it. And it was pretty easy for him to leave once, you know, he heard about what Tiger Fisher was doing, because that meant more to him. You know, the idea that the fishmen from the Fishman district are going to make something of themselves and make a stand against humans, you know, who treat them so hardly. So as much as I understand Otohime, you know, kind of, you know, being very sensitive and trying her best to make a change and stuff, I don't know, it didn't feel to me like very effective in any way. And very idealistic and very like kind of disconnected from reality in some way, you know, a little bit. So in like overall what I think about her, I don't know if I'm like enamored with her exactly, because I feel like she was kind of talking like, as much as she was trying to, you know, look people in the eye and be like, and not talk to them through videos, but actually go out and see the people for herself. Like, that's definitely that's important, but it still felt like she was only seeing kind of the people who, you know, like not those who are like beyond saving or something, you know. Maybe there's more to the story, maybe we don't know exactly everything she did, but definitely felt not as admirable as I would have expected, I guess, or something. Like, I have like, you know, my misgivings about this. Let's get into the next episode. Okay, but and I mean, he was doing something really important, like that no one else would do, even you know. And I mean, okay, understandably, I guess. Yeah. What is she gonna say? I don't think you're doing that. And now they're not going to even. Because he actually did something. Oh, God. But you can understand where, you know, where it comes from, for sure. They've been neglected by everyone. That's exactly what they're counting on. No! Assholes! Definitely a way to make us feel for Arlong and like to be on their side, at least for now, you know, until things get even more out of hand, but... Well, up yours.
巨人の分際で。
奴隷はまかり通るが、奴隷解放は罪。これでも人間を愛せというのか、乙姫王妃。
Exactly. Exactly. Like, she's not making a good case for herself. And I mean, the humans, they're not even trying to make a good case for themselves.
まさか元奴隷だと怪物か。そういうものがうちにいる証拠でもある。
Yeah, they're no longer slaves of hymns.
それを調べてみろ。安心しろ。逃がしてやる。俺は人間とは違う。
Well, he knew, you know, the different, like, he wanted to, like, he knew to, like, it was important for Tiger to be different than the humans, but, you know, Arlong, for instance, I mean, you can understand them just being like, we don't care, we're going to be as cruel to you as you were to us.
なんでだよ。あんな下等生物の一匹や二匹始末したくらいで。お前ら二人度が過ぎやしねえか。
あいつらは全員お頭の首を狙ってきおるんじゃ。向こうがやる気なら、こっちも多少やりすぎてしまうわい。腹も立つ。
殺したら負けなんだ。あいつらと同類になりてえのか。俺たちが恨みのままに人間たちへの復讐を始めれば、その後生まれるのはさらなる人間からの復讐って悲劇だけだ。
Yeah, but it's really,
の罪もない未来の魚人族が目の敵にされるだろう。わかるか。
yeah, I don't think Arlong got it though, like, agreed with
最
it.
後の一戦。俺は前から一言言いたかった。人間からの復讐を生む。復讐されねえように息の根を止めりゃいいだろう。より残虐に人間どもが震え上がるようによ。まぶたに焼き付けてやりゃいいんだよ。恐怖を。何すんだてめえ。
アーロンのやつも血の気が多くて困ったもんじゃの。
But you can totally, I mean,
無理もねえ。
exactly.
本当は俺にあんなことを言う資格はねえんだ。乙姫王妃の訴えは理想だな。彼女にとって俺とアーロンの何が違う。自分の心の奥に住む鬼が一番怖い。
Yeah, I guess it's very hard to toe the line of, like,
その時わしはお頭の言葉の真の意味がわからんかった。
of, like, being a criminal, being a pirate, and then but not killing at the same time.
わしらは政府のお尋ね者として日々戦いに身を置き、乙姫王妃もまた自分のやり方で世界と戦っておった。
手配書だ。また賞金が上がってる。すげえ。世界政府もビビってやがるな。キャッキャー。海軍なんてぶっ潰せ。署名してよ。
そうした日々が残念
How effective she is.
この子は3年前のあなたの奴隷解放の際に私たちと同様にマリージョアより逃れてきた子です。この通り。
Oh.
しかしこの子の親のいる故郷はここよりも遠く。
3年前は助けてくれてどうもありがとうございました。
ガキでも人間だぜ。胸くそ悪い。なぜ同じ船に人間を。ニヤニヤしてんじゃねえよ。勘に触るガキだ。アーロンさん。
Oh.
始終笑ってやがって気味悪い。
Oh, wow.
すみません。働きますから。今日休めず掃除しますから。
Oh god, that's horrible.
すみません。
She's smiling because she was told to smile all the time.
何があっても泣きませんから。殺さないでください。
おい、やめんか。わしらが怖えのか。
She was just punched. I think so.
役に立ちますから。殺さないでください。
Some of you were slaves yourselves, you know?
誰にも心を許せない。このガキを俺の部屋へ連れてこい。
He made her a pirate. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I don't know if that was the best way to deal with that. Oh my god.
なきゃいいじゃねえか。よく見ろ。
Jesus Christ.
「俺たちは誰も殺さねえ。故郷へ送り届ける。
So sweet. But we don't see Arlong though. Jesus, that was horrible. Wow. I don't think I've ever cried like that about someone that I don't even know at all. Whew, but it was so poignant, you know? It was so horrible. Whew. And just the way that he, you know, tried to deal with that, you know, and the way they, like, convinced, I mean, Tiger, they convinced him, like, how important it was not to be, like, the human. I mean, he knew that already. But he himself was kind of afraid that he would, you know, that some part of him doesn't know the difference or won't care about the difference if he's, you know, if he has to kind of make the choice, like in a state of passion or something, when he's like really angry, that he might kill, you know, those that he sees as like his enemies and stuff. I guess like it also showed like how humans could be horrible to humans as well, and that there was some, you know, camaraderie, I guess, among, you know, the fishermen who were slaves and this girl who was a slave. And, you know, it was just like really effective the way that he like was able to convince her that they're not going to hurt her and they're not going to kill anyone and they're not like the humans who treated her so horribly. And it was like a very important distinction that all of them like were really, you know, like felt that it was important to uphold, you know, felt like proud to be part of like this, like we're not like humans, we're gonna, you know, take this girl who's a human and get her back to where she belongs and show the world, you know, or at least a little bit of it, like that we're so different. But Arlong was obviously like, you know, setting aside, and the moment that he saw her, he didn't care that she was a girl, and he didn't care, and he didn't seem to be very touched by her story. There's some kind of block inside him where he's like, no, you're human, I hate you, I want to like hit you and stuff. Like he definitely doesn't see this distinction, he doesn't care about it. He's been, I guess, hurt too many times, and he's just like, I don't care, I'm going to treat them the same way that they treated me, but to the point that they can never, you know, go up against me again. Like I'm going to make, like I don't care if it's going to basically repeat this cycle forever, I'm going to make sure that, you know, it doesn't repeat by just being stronger than them and you know, kind of asserting my own control over them forever, basically, is his plan. But we saw like all of, you know, also his friends, like his Arlong pirate friends, I mean, that would eventually become, you know, the Arlong pirates together with him. I mean, he was, like he said, he already was, you know, the captain of Arlong pirates, and then and then they became part of the the Sun Pirates. But, eventually we know that he, becomes his own thing again. But anyway, we saw Hachi and we saw those others. I don't remember their names anymore, but that they were also definitely like part of, agreed with Tiger's a way of thinking about all of this, for now at least. But I guess it's easy to kind of like go with the flow when everyone is like, you're like part of this kind of like something big happens and you're just like, yes, this is how we should do it and stuff, and it doesn't always hold true for very long after. So we'll see, I guess, how Arlen convinces them, or I don't know, something to separate or whatever, to do things their own way. But still, even with all of this, like, you can definitely, like Tiger said, like, he doesn't blame Arlong. There's a part of him that understands this need to want revenge, to go after revenge, to be like, you can't treat us like this. We're gonna treat you the same way, and then we'll see how you like it, And it's a very understandable, like, kind of impulse to go after, for sure. Like, it's, again, obviously, when Arlong starts, enslaving, like, humans who had nothing to do with anything, who are much, much, much weaker than him, like, you can still understand, but at that point it becomes like, obviously we saw things from Nami's point of view, like, we know what that felt like for her, and we know, like, that Arlong did become exactly the thing that, what Tiger didn't want to become, and that's when your sympathy kind of ends. But it's still understandable how he gets to that point. I mean, he always kind of was at that point, like, he never, like, he was always kind of apart, like, he didn't agree with Tiger, and he seems to, keep to that resentment, and he has, like, no sympathy for humans at all, like. But again, you can understand where that comes from. And as for Otohime, I don't know, I'm just, like, not, I just feel like there's something so naive about the way that she does things, and also kind of, like, hard-headed. Like, she's just like, sign it, like, I mean, what, she gets enough signatures? Like, is she waiting for everyone to sign in agreement with her to move the kingdom, or is she just waiting for, like, the majority, or what? Like, she wants to convince every single one of them. Like, how does this work for her? Like, what is she trying to achieve exactly? I mean, if the majority, like, sign that they agree to move the kingdom, will she just take those, like, I guess they can kind of split the kingdom maybe or something. I don't know if that's a good idea, but, I guess they can, those who want to stay can stay. Those who want to make peace with the normal humans can try to do that. I don't know. And again, it obviously doesn't include all those in the Fishman district. I mean, they're children at this point, I guess. Like, most of the adults became the Sun Pirates, but still, I don't know. It just feels, I don't know what to think about her, honestly. I don't think I'm really, like, that enamored by her actions. I don't know. Like, I understand that her intentions are good, that there's something to it, but I don't know. Like, the way the Tiger is like, wow, like, she's really trying to do something great, and, like, but it just seems like so, like, kind of impractical in some way. I don't know. Okay, let's get into the next episode. I'm skipping 542, so we're getting to 543 now.
ふるさとに帰れるぞ。にゃははは変わるもんだな。見違えたぞ。女の子らしくなったじゃねえか。
Oh.
この方が母ちゃんも喜ぶぞ。
掃除しなきゃ。
Wow.
おめえその困ったら働く癖やめろ。ここはマリージョアじゃねえぞ。好きにさせてやれ。
Yeah, it's hard to.
よくわかるようだな。アラディンの兄。元奴隷には元奴隷の気持ち。
Exactly.
本当は殺してやりてんだろう。今すぐ。こいつはあんたを飼ってたやつと同類の人間だぞ。
She's not exactly.
巨人を見下してんだろう。お前の親も。シャー人間の社会ってのはそうなのさ。誰かがぶっ潰してやらねえとこの流れは止まらねえ。
I mean, that's what it is. I do get like Otohime trying to, to like we have to deal with prejudice by kind of showing them that we're not that.
いつも怯えておるように見える。海賊じゃからか。
There's also that, for sure.
何も知らないから。
知らんと怖え。
まだ彼らのことを何も知らない。
知れば何か変わるのか。
Yeah, you definitely can. But you need to find a way to be open to it, though. It's not a guarantee. I really like the doctor. I really like them. Jesus. And Hachi, of course. And Tiger.
お前の村はどこだ？入り口まで俺が送っていこう。
行くのよコアラ、一緒に旅しよう。
That's so sweet.
村のみんなに言うよ。余人にはいい人たちがたくさんいるって。
That was so sweet. Like she dealt with so much drama while on their ship. Like they did all the really hard work, you know?
あのガキも他の人間どもと同じになる。
てめえ、金やら。ジンベエ。
Let's hope not.
貴様、村で一人、巨人はいいやつだと主張し続ける意味があるのか。まるで乙姫の主張のように。声は虚しく吹き抜けるだけだ。
I mean, I can't say for sure that it's gonna. I mean, it's something, but we don't know.
本当だ。これが太陽の海賊団船長。
Oh no.
あの人、悪い人なんでしょ。巨人だし。
私、巨人族ってみんな怖い人だと思ってたけど、いい人たちもいっぱいいるよ。
お前はまだ子供だから。
Oh no.
みんなも一緒に暮らしたらきっとわかるよ。
Yeah, I don't know how convincing that is. You can definitely dismiss it just like, oh, you're just a child.
約束守ってくれてありがとう。太陽の人たちのこと一生忘れないから。
Also, Arlong. I really hope so, but it. Oh my god.
私は海軍本ストロベリー少将。
Puts his hats and thumbs.
ある島の者から通報を受けている。
Right now?
今承知してくれている。天竜人の所有物である娘を見逃すという条件でな。太陽の海賊団船長フィッシャー隊が君の罪名は2つある。
おい、海を見ろ。
海軍だ。取り囲まれてる。あのガキは海軍の撒いた餌だったんだ。そいつに大兄貴も俺たちも。
No, but they just use. I mean, they'll just use you to make sure that you.
これが人間だ。
タイのお頭が危ない。ハロー。
Because also he won't kill them.
わしらお頭を。
船が持たねえ。
Arlong, though, he's going to kill them.
海軍から一隻奪うぞ。
Like he's not going to hold himself back.
こんなに撃たれてんのになんで倒れねえんだ。許さん。
How do you put your hat on?
人間。撃て。
何か聞こえない？お母ちゃん。
いいえ。
They all were in on it. That's really terrible.
黒幕か。全ては正義のため。太陽の海賊団殲滅のためだ。
I mean, we don't know this guy, so I really hope Jinbei killed him. Okay, I'm sorry. But Jesus. Oh, you did? Tiger didn't survive?
輸血を拒否するっておかしら。何バカなこと言ってんだ。だがこの海軍船にストックされた血なら人間の血だろう。
And you don't want that?
そうだ。人間と俺たちには同じ血が流れてる。
He feels too betrayed.
とにかく輸血を入れるな。そんな血で生きながらいたくねえ。
Oh, so sad.
俺たち巨人族を蔑み続けた血だ。おかしら。人間と何があったの。お前らには言いたくなかった。俺は最後の旅で捕まっちまったんだ。マリージョアに数年。俺は奴隷だった。
なんじゃと。
人間の狂気。命からがら逃げ出したが目の当たりにした奴隷たちを放ってはおけなかった。結果乙姫王妃をひどく邪魔しちまったが、あの人は正しい。本当に島を変えられるのはコアラのような何も知らねえ次の世代だ。お前らは島に何も伝えるな。俺たちに起きた悲劇を、人間たちへの怒りを。だが大兄貴、アーロン、死んで消えていく者たちが恨みだけこの世に残すなんて滑稽だろう。頭じゃ分かっていても俺はもう心の鬼が邪魔をする。俺はもう人間を愛せねえ。
おかしら。
偉業なした巨人たちの英雄なんだよ。嬉しいね。まだまだだな。
何守る。兄貴。
他に挑んでくるやつがいねえなら今日から俺が巨人狩りを仕切る。子分たちは俺が守ってやる。
Jesus, these are horrible episodes. Like, they're really sad and like they're really you know, really do well like in showcasing this like conflict that is just so hard to deal with. Because you can, like, you know, ideally like you want to be a good person and you're just like, okay, like I'm not gonna be, you know, like my oppressors, but then it's just like the world just doesn't make it easy on you. You know, there's so much resentment building up and it's really hard to always keep it at bay and like, you know, at the same time to understand that it's not, you know, that's not going to benefit anyone if you, you know, kind of take and let the resentment take over and the need for revenge and the anger and the, you know, everything. But at the same time, you know, you're dealing with it, you feel it, and everything that happens to kind of, you know, for instance, those people who called the Navy on them, even though they just, like, Tiger just gave them back their, you know, their daughter. You know, it just kind of establishes even further the fact, you know, like, it makes it harder to forget, you know, all that resentment. Like, it makes everything kind of rise up to the surface again, and you're just like, you know, how long can you keep being, you know, the bigger man and trying so hard to, you know, to kind of let things go and be like, no, not all humans are like that, or something like that. You know, it's really kind of impossible. And he was like saying like the children are the ones, because they have less prejudices, they're the ones that, you know, you can really hang your hope on, that they will not judge, you know, fishermen just because they're fishermen, and actually see through to them and understand that they're just like everybody else, and they can be good and they can be bad, but, you know, they can be good. But they also at the same time, like those children, if they grow like with the influence of their parents and you know, the humans that they're surrounded by, you know, very easily they can grow up into being exactly like their parents, which is what Arlong was saying. Like, you know, there's no chance, like we should just, I mean, you know, she's gonna grow up and be just like everyone else, and we should just kill her now. Like, you can understand Arlong being like, you know, like I don't give a shit, like, you know, they're all the same, or they're going to be the same, so it doesn't matter, so I can just kill them. And God, it's really like, God, it was really hard to watch this and just, you know, and feel so much for them, and feel like this helplessness of like, you know, this is the world you live in, you know, no matter how much you try to be like better than the world around you, like there's a limit to how much you can do that. And maybe, you know, in that regard, you know, what Otohime is trying to do, like, you know, kind of forcing humans to see fishmen day by day, you live alongside them. Like, it's going to be so hard at first, but maybe with some, you know, with some time, you can really help and really change things in the long run. But again, it's like it forces the fishermen to be like, you know, okay, you know what, you know, we're just going, like, we were treated horribly by humans, but we're going to put that aside and really try to just show you that we're just, you know, like everyone else. We're just like you in a lot of ways, and it's really hard to do that. And also for the humans, I guess, I don't know. It seems like humans, though, they kind of heard these rumors that fishmen are really horrible, like scary and not like humans at all and stuff like that. And that's what they base their, you know, prejudice on, which makes sense. But for the most part, it seems like they haven't really seen fishmen on, you know, with their own eyes. I don't know how many fishmen pirates there were before Tiger. It seems almost like there weren't any, and you know, they're the kind of the first fishmen, you know, pirates. So it's not like humans were really like really suffered from fishmen treatment or like something like that. Like, you know, it's kind of the other way around. And so the fishmen need to kind of let that go and be like, no, we're actually not that bad. And keep in their minds that, yeah, hopefully the humans that we meet are not as bad as the humans that we got to meet all this time because they were all pirates or nobles or really disgusting. Like, you know, and that's not what all humans are like. But it's really hard to take that step, to keep your like an open mind, you know, when the other side is not willing to do the same thing for you, when they don't even really, like, they haven't really suffered, you know, under fishman hand, really, at all. It all comes from prejudice and stuff. This is just like really, really hard to take, and you can really understand, you know, like Tiger was so conflicted because he knew, like, he had so many, you know, personal feelings. And at the same time, he knew that if he were just to, you know, follow them without holding himself back, it would be really terrible, because he would just be like, okay, all humans are terrible. We're just going to, you know, I'm just going to show them what it feels like, you know, to be persecuted this way or something, which you can definitely get. You can definitely get that. Oh my God. I do wonder if we're going to see Koala again or something, because I do want to believe that she, at least, but I don't know, like, I don't know if it matters to the story, like, what she is right now, but it to some degree does, like, that she was able to remember them and hold them in her heart and remember that they were good to her, you know, even when she grows up with all those humans around her who pretty much, like who betrayed in some way, you know, Tiger, even with all the prejudice around her. Anyway, it's really sad, and also it really makes me wonder, like, you can definitely understand how Arlong just kept being the way he is, and why, I guess, the other, you know, fishmen who followed him, you know, agreed with him, or were like, okay, whatever, this is not gonna work, we just have to enslave humans the way that they did to us, and like really took it hard, like how Tiger was hurt and killed. But it just makes me wonder, like, because Tiger was trying to say, like, don't tell anyone, don't let my resentment kind of control the way that you're acting toward humans and stuff. Like, he was trying to hold on to this ideal even if he couldn't really do it for himself. So maybe that's how Jinbei Jinbei was able to take that forward, maybe to see the other way of doing things, like to keep up with like this notion that he doesn't want to be like the terrible humans, and he still wants to believe that there are good humans that they can, you know, make a better future with or something. But, you know, at the same time, I also wonder, because Jinbei said that it was his fault that Arlong, you know, was set on the East Blue. So maybe Jinbei was affected in, you know, the opposite way, and then something else changed his mind. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to see how that, you know, builds into like the present that we know now. But anyway, it was a really interesting, like these set of episodes were so hard to take and so well crafted. I really enjoyed them and was really hurt by them at the same time. And I don't know, it's really sad, this entire story. Episodes 544, 545, and 546. Let's get into this episode. Jinbei against Arlong. Yeah, that's really sad. Yeah, it's horrible. It's honestly horrible, especially as he was such a good person. You know, like in terms of like he was just someone to look up to for all of them, for sure. They all cared about him. Like it adds this like another layer of like actual emotional, you know, for Arlong, like that really seals it. Like he's been hating humans all this time, and now he's like personal, like I mean he always felt personally prosecuted, I think, but now it's like it's just the last straw. Oh shit. Kizaru is like, damn, like how did it survive this encounter? Oh, he's a vice admiral now. Okay. Does Kizaru even know why Tiger was there? Like, does he know it's like a betrayal? I don't think he cares either way. Oh, okay. That's what happened there. And then Jinbei broke him out? Oh, he blames them, like, because they don't have human, like, fisherman blood? Yeah, they're like making it seem like they were the ones. Or Arlong made it seem like he was refused the blood, so like the interesting. I get it. Okay, Arlong doesn't want people to know the Tiger actually tried helping humans and was betrayed by them. On top of that. Okay, they're holding on to that. Not kill anyone though. Oh, they know the truth. I mean, they spread the true story.
してくれなかったわ。
Among the fishmen.
でも大丈夫。お母様、
母上様。
約束しましょう。あなたたちの未来。
Do they give birth? Like, do they hatch out of eggs? Fishmen? I don't think so. But actually, I have no clue.
島の子供たちへの地上講習。
これは昨日話した木がたくさんあるところ。森よ。森？海の森？
署名活動。
I don't know how effective this is, but okay. She's very persistent.
乙姫王妃。
あなたたち。
Oh, they're changing their mind, are they, or something?
今日はお願いが。
What?
5年以上集めていますが、1枚10人の署名誌が100枚くらい。1000人は賛成してくれてます。
Okay.
自分たちのお願いですが、勝手ながらそのうち50枚ほど取り消していただきたく。
500 of them?
天下、この前島に流れ
Oh no, what they do? Stole everything.
略奪を働いて島からとんずらしたって話。
Yeah, this, like, reality is just making it very hard to hold on to ideals.
乙姫様、あら子供たち、地上の話をする？お前書いたこの紙、母ちゃんが。
You're asking children to sign? I mean...
だが王妃だから話も聞いたが、問題は人間の方で。演説ももう結構ですから。
I mean, I totally get that though. Like, they don't come in contact with people who are, like, actually... I don't know how many there are out there who are actually willing to, you know, to treat them like people.
ただいま天使たち。ちょっと張り切りすぎてしまって、今日は一人にしてくださる？
Oh no. Things are really bad. Yeah. What's his dad to think about all of this? Like he lets her do it on his own, on her own, because I mean, it seems he doesn't believe in it in the same way that she does. But
乙姫様、今の国中への放送がオンに。
like Neptune, on the one hand, doesn't stop her or tell her that he doesn't think it's the right way to do things, but on the other hand, he doesn't help either. Like he just lets her do this thing and kind of deal with it on her own and deal with the fallout.
まだこの場所だけを選んで住んでるのはなぜ？
乙姫様。
ここには小さな光と空気があるからではないですか？
And you can get all of that on the surface.
と高い空がある。子供たちがこっそりシャボンディパークを見上げ
Yeah, there's something in them that longs for it. That longs to live in the world.
もっと素敵な場所があるのに、行ってはいけない場所なんてあるはず。
The thing is though that a lot of people don't think that same way, so that's a problem.
と奴隷は見つかれば終わり。望む望まずに関係なく、このまま死ぬまで。
Damn. But
そんなつもりで言ったんじゃねえ。
but do they know, like, they have like lists of who was a slave or who wasn't? I guess they would have that. Like lists of all the slaves.
先日インペルダウンに収監されたアーロンなどはまだ序の口。真に凶暴なのは人命です。
Well, you deserved it.
尋常ではなかった。野放しにしておくのはあまりに危険。
Unclear justice? What? Why is it written there?
よく戻ったジンベエ。聞いたぞ。七部会の件。
わしが七部会になれば、政府の恩赦でアラディンをはじめ、
We'll be able to go back Right.
一部会だってな、ジンベエの兄貴、政府の人間の犬になるんだな。
タイの兄貴の言葉を忘れたか。恨みや怒りに生きるのはよせ。
I think that's happened a long time ago. But
このままあんたの部下になれや安全圏なんだろうな。そうはしねえ。
okay, so this decision to become the warlord drove Arlong away.
ロン一味に戻る。同胞たちも連れて行くぜ。
Did you ask them though? I mean, he's just sure that they will follow him.
俺こそが巨人族の怒りだ。
生意気言うな。
Whoa, Arlong can't do anything. Like, Arlong is so much weaker. He did just come out of prison, though. Maybe that has something to do with it. I still think, obviously, that Jim is a lot stronger, but...
魚人街で共に育った弟。理由があろうと、息の根まで止められるものか。
He's...
わからん。あのバカにはタイの兄貴の真意が。
But he really wanted to kill him? Or felt like he had to?
俺たちも元通り好きにするぜ。ジンベエ船長。
マクロ、お前。
好きにさせてやれ。
あばよ。
Makra was... Yeah, Makra were the guys who, like, those... I don't remember for sure. I think when we first met Kami and everything, they were the ones who kidnapped her? Possibly? Because I remember hearing that name. But he turned into... Makro? Yeah, the ridiculous, like, fishmen who tried to kidnap mermaids and sell them? Or am I totally mistaking that? Like, I don't remember where I heard his name. Because that's like, you know, totally like the other way around. Like, instead of taking it out on humans, they sell their own people to get money from humans and stuff. It's like, that's crazy. I don't know if that was, like, maybe I'm totally misremembering. I don't know where I heard his name. But anyway, this is why Jinbe feels responsible for Arlong, because his decision to become the warlord drove Arlong over the edge. Although, you know, he was always kind of right there on the edge, you know? And it obviously wasn't just Jinbe deciding to become warlord, but it was kind of, yeah, again, the last straw. I get like too much was happening too fast, and Arlong was already ready to go up against humans, already really resentful against them. You know, all the way through, there was never any point where he actually agreed with Tiger. He just kind of did what, you know, he just kind of followed Tiger because he really looked up to him, but he never, he was always on the outside. Like, he never had any soft spot for anyone human, which is, again, understandable, but still, you could see how, I mean, it's very hard to not hold resentment, or at the very least to try not to, even if you do feel it, to be like, you know, I hate you guys, but also know at the same time that not all of you are like that, or I hope to know, I hope to think that, and I want to make a difference in the world, so I'm trying to be like the bigger person, but it's really hard, especially when people you care about around you die, and it doesn't seem to make a difference, or at least, you know, yeah, like you really don't see the difference that it's making, if it's making at all. So yeah, like you can definitely understand where Arlong's coming from, and I mean, Jinbe wants to do what it is that Tiger wanted to do. You know, if Tiger couldn't do it all the way, but Jinbe wants to like follow in his footsteps, and, you know, well, he's not doing it out of like really respect for humans, or like definitely not the, you know, the Marines or the government or whatever that he's allying himself with, obviously, because they are like the biggest threats, but he's also doing it to, you know, get us some of his people off the hook, so they can live their life, which is like such a basic thing to want, you know, which just makes everything all the more horrible. Like, honestly, like, it's really hard to see it's really hard to find something to really hope for in this situation, because all the humans that you come into contact with are terrible human beings, you know, and you're just kind of beholden to them, not because they deserve it, but because that's just how the world works, you know. And but you're still trying to, like, you know, have principles and morals and make the best of what you have, which is not a lot. So you can totally understand Arlong's resentment through all of this, for sure. Yeah. So I think, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's more to it, to the story now, but it definitely explained to us, you know, this whole background of how Arlon became who he was, became more what he was always, kind of, I guess. Or, I mean, I guess there were some points that he could have, maybe something could have made enough of a difference in his life to not set him on his path, but, I mean, so many things did happen that just convinced him more and more that he was right, you know? Yeah. It was almost inevitable in some way. And we also have Otohime, who's really trying hard, but again, it feels so flimsy. Like she's gonna get these signatures and then what? I mean, like all the people who signed are going to go with her, supposedly. That's what she's hoping for. Supposedly, I mean, obviously it didn't happen, and everyone kind of, or most people just withdrew their signatures. And again, you can understand it because like they're trying to help. They're you know, bringing people in, trying to help them, trying to show them that they're, you know, that they're not monsters and that they shouldn't be treated that way. And then the people will turn against them. And of course, yes, it's pirates, so they're not the best representation, but still, that's what they get. That's what they get. And I mean, the whole point of Otohime is that, you know, we're going to go out there, we're going to meet other people who will actually be, you know, will actually treat us, like see us for what we are and befriend us, hopefully, or like we'll try to befriend them, but it's so far away and it's so hard to believe in. And yeah, it just really seems impossible. And I mean, it kind of was, because they never really got out anywhere, right? Nothing came of it, as far as we know. And Otohime at some point gets killed. That's part of the story that we didn't get to yet. So, okay, let's get into the next episode. This is really like just depressing, you know? And really really justifies, you know, maybe not justifies, but really explains how the state of mind of the fish man. Yeah, you thought you'd never see. But now you got another chance at life. It's a lot. Because Jinbei is kind of enslaving himself in some way. Like, maybe not really, but in some way. Or like, you know, allying himself with the people that he hates the most. Oh. Yeah, he was the one who talked about it. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, what are you saying? But you can do it. Sorry. We do know that he just didn't do it, but I don't know if he like there were more times when he was called to fight for the world government and he had to, you know, comply until this time he just wouldn't. Van Decker's ship? What? What? Okay. Wow. Like all these people that she's saving, you know, she has to take responsibility for the fact that she even allows them to enter and whatever it is they decide to do in her island. Yeah, it's a man. Doesn't know how to do anything differently. Yeah, no one to help them. Or him, whatever. Okay, that's Van Decker.
船長、天竜人が来たそうで。天竜人？何でもナンパ船で助けを求めに来たらしく。それ面白そうだ。見物にでも行くとしよう。
Is this one until him die somehow? I mean, because Jimmy said it will change your life forever. So like, I'm like, is death something that changes your life forever? I guess it does.
魚人島に戻った？なぜかえ？マイダディ。
My daddy. My son. They're so ugly, all of them too. So you came there. Jesus! Oh, you were the slaves? You're a fucking idiot. God, these people. Yeah, I did. I don't think you can get away with that. But his dad, I mean, I don't know, it's like playing with fire. They really think they could get away with it. I mean, you thought. Honestly, just kill him. I want you to. No. No. Seriously? Oh, but that's... Oh my god, that's so messed up because they don't deserve this. These celestial dragons don't deserve... Like, they should die. They really should... Jesus. But she... Oh my god. It's so frustrating, though. Like, she's making a point that, you know, we can't do this if we want to. But it's just her shoulder. Is she gonna... Jesus. The worst. The worst humans you could possibly find. But is she gonna die from that? Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, I'm sure she understands that. Is he gonna kill her? Is he going to... But people like the celestial dragons are not gonna be... Yeah, that's what she's trying to do too. He's going to shoot her. She did that. Oh! Oh, sea beasts listen to her? She controls them? Shirahoshi?
なんじゃ今のはとても偶然には
She did it.
白星あなたまさか
What? Like there's a name for her. And that's when he fell in love with her?
我が一族に伝わる伝説によると、それはかつてはるか昔、海洋類をも従わせる神秘の力を持つ人魚姫がいたという。先祖様、俺はついに見つけたぞ。
What did he, is he human? Actually, where did he come from?
我が一族だけが知っている秘密の伝説なのだ。
I mean, actually, yeah. Although he did say, no, he is a fishman. That maybe his ancestor got together. I don't know what he did.
まずは姫の夫にならねば。でもまだ白星姫はガキンチョですぜ。そこが問題。
I'm glad to hear you think that's a problem.
どこか行くの乙姫様。
乙姫。
信じてあなたの選んだ妻と人間を。
And the humans. I'm sorry. But, Jesus. Oh my god, just fucking choke on your spit or something, please. Like, it's so frustrating, cause yes, I do get the idea that not all humans are like that. Is that Jesus? Like, it's so, I can't even, it's so frustrating. Like, I mean, also that, you know, the dragons are so, the celestial dragons are so over the top in how horrible they are. And I don't mean it and like, oh, it's like hard to believe that there are people like that. No, but I definitely do believe, because they're upward, like they just live among themselves and believe that they're worth something more than anybody else, and that's just what they teach their children. So like they just ugh. They're just the most horrible people, and they don't recognize that, and they don't care, because they've been told all their life that they deserve everything. They can act however they want, and they're so entitled to everything. But it's so frustrating to see that, and then have like Otomi be like, oh, we need to cure him, we need to, you know. But obviously she's doing it for her own goal, and obviously she doesn't, like, she wants to show that the celestial dragons are not the only humans out there. But the fact that I don't know, it's just so frustrating. And I mean like, it actually says that there's, it's, all of them are frustrated. I mean, all of the fishermen were thinking like, why are we saving him? Like look at this dude, he just, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it's just horrible. But Otohime is like so focused on this idea that she can make a difference, and that she can get, you know, to the point where she can, you know, meet with people who she can actually talk to, and at least for the future generations, like to create this opportunity for the fishermen children to at least learn like a different, get to know people who are different, and get the, you know, the humans at the same time to see what fishermen are about. But like, oh my god, I mean, like, it's just like the fact that they're humans who are so horrible, and that's just how the world works. And it just really takes, you know, I don't know, it just makes it so depressing to think that, oh, you know, this is the world that we live in, and we just have to, you know, in order to stand by our principles, we have to let them get away with the shit that they're doing in some way, you know? Like, we're going to give you a doctor, and even though you came here to take back your slaves that you treated horribly, and you're just like, I don't care that the world government gave you amnesty, I didn't give you permission, so you have to do what I say. Like, and like, like it shows you on the one hand like how much Otohime is willing to like how much she's willing to stick with what she believes in. And I mean, she's using this celestial dragon as, a means to an end. Like, she's going to help him, and now she gets the chance to go with him and actually, I don't even know, talk to the government. I don't know what she exactly intends, something like that, to get some kind of closer relations with the government, to get, the fishermen to be, to have like the opportunity to go out, I guess, and all that. But it's just like, living on that island and seeing the kind of people that are out there like this, I wouldn't want to go and live with them. And again, obviously, the celestial dragons is not everyone, but that's what you get to see. You see the pirates and you see the celestial dragons, and I mean, she's saying like, okay, don't act like this in front of your children, but I feel like, I mean, this is the reality too. Like, of course, it's not the only reality, but it's a big part of the reality. And, the children seeing how horrible celestial dragons are, and that you just kind of you just kind of have to go along with them, I think is also a horrible thing for them to learn, I mean, at the same time, though, they can't really do anything because they did feel like they could get away with killing this celestial dragon because he did crash. He was close to death. It was, I guess they could have said that, I mean, and all the people of the island would corroborate that, probably, that he just died, he just died from his wounds or whatever, and they didn't have anything to do with it. But I just feel like, will the world government, like, I feel the risk is that because you're a fisherman, will the world government really stand by you? Like, really, I mean, they can easily blame you for it, even if you didn't kill him, is what I felt. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I guess it depends on what the world government's agenda is at the moment. Like, do they want to kind of turn a blind eye? Because these celestial dragons, I don't even know if the government even, likes their existence or not. I mean, because these celestial dragons are doing whatever they want. And I guess the government is like they have to protect their interests, or they have to be allied with them or something. Because these celestial dragons like get away with everything. They can do whatever they want, or at least so it seems so far. But like, I wonder what the world government really, what their stand is on this. Like, because there is, I mean, why do the celestial dragons do that? Because they're descendants of those who created the world government, right? Or something, created something. So they're, I think, something like that. So they're definitely ties between the world government and the celestial dragons. But like, I don't know if the world government really wants to, like, outwardly, obviously, the celestial dragons get away with everything, but I wonder if the world government, like, if they think they're important, because they want to establish, like, I guess, I mean, the world government is all about, I think, like, controlling the world, right? And controlling history and controlling everything and having everyone do what they want or something. So the whole idea of the celestial dragons, I guess, just drives in the point that, some people are just made to be the rulers of the world, and that's just how it works, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it's really frustrating, and I mean, I get what Otohime is trying to do, but at the same time, I'm just like, fuck these people, honestly. Like, I would totally, like, understand, like, the fishermen on the island being like, we don't care. It's just one of these people dead. Like, I mean, the actual slaves that this person treated so horribly, they just have to stand there and see him get treated and see him get whatever he wants, and then walk away, and just, at least he doesn't walk away with them, I guess. I don't know what, like, he came there, was really wounded, got treated, but the reason he came there was to take the slaves back with him, and then he just doesn't, like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how he agreed to just go back with empty-handed. I mean, Otohime is going with him, but obviously she's not going with him as a slave. So I don't know how that worked, but This whole thing is really annoying, and I mean, I don't know exactly where Otohime is going to die or when, but it's going to happen soon, right? And we know that the fishmen never left the island, so something here went very wrong. And like, color me surprised. I mean, like, it just seems like so hard to even think that something will come out of this, you know? Like, she's really grasping at straws, it feels like. I mean, she's trying so hard. She's trying so hard, but I just feel, ugh. It's really frustrating. Anyway, let's get into the next episode. Oh, I didn't talk about Tarashi and her ability to call forth sea kings or beasts or whatever. And Vanderdecken, whatever.
そういう情報で例えばこんなちびっこいガキが色っぺー年頃の女になるとか
Oh god, you're disgusting and I hate you.
できました問題解決だそれならすぐに白星姫と結婚できるのはずだすぐにその玉手箱との盗んでこい
Why do they have a thing like that? What is...
10年20年年取りゃいい女になると思うぜでももっとでかくなりますよ親かと呼べ俺はでかい女嫌いじゃねえあの女は海洋類を操ることができるという伝説の人魚姫
Everything about this is that I hate him. Like, he's not funny to me. I hate him. I'm sorry about the music. Yeah, well, it made them really appreciate her even more, I guess, and her speeches. I didn't think she would actually just be dead. I mean, I was kind of afraid, but...
世界会議にたくさんの署名を提出できたとき、この一枚の紙がより現実的な力を私たちに与えてくれるの。
To go out?
移住はきっと可能です。
But do they want to? Yeah, like...
あと必要なのはより多くの署名です。
I mean, I guess that's a big question. Do they want to?
決断を待つことしかできません。どうか
But they feel that she did a lot for them at this point, for this, I guess.
地上への移住の意思を示してください。
But you're still not making a good argument about why we will want to do that. I mean, no, she's saying it's for the future, but it seems so not a child.
子供たち喜ばせてまた返してなんて言わない。言わないよ。母ちゃんも出すって。
Okay. I mean, you have to appreciate the effort that she puts into it, you know? And for myself, I think I would just be like, no, I don't want to deal with that shit. But I think, you know, in some way, yes, you do want to believe that there's a better way to do things, you know? Like to find a way to coexist with humans where you don't have to suffer from them all day long.
はいはいはい今度はこっちに入れてください王妃の熱い思いに賛同する署名はこちらに
I don't know how this goes sideways, but I mean, once she dies, I guess it'll just go back to square one.
わしらは目を背けておるのだ
Yeah.
しかし王妃自ら一歩踏み出すことで希望が生まれた
You signed it too?
でも多く集まれば本当に巨人島の未来は変わるかもしれんな乙姫王妃の強き信念に触れることができればアーロンも救えてたかもしれん
I don't think Arlen wanted to understand. Like, he doesn't want to believe there's another way out of this. You know, he wants to cling to his resentment.
私はあの瞬間本当にこの島は変わることができるという勇気をもらったのです。
あの瞬間
そう海王類が魚人島を覗き込んだあの日あれは白星が呼んだのよ
And that gave her the courage.
海王類たちとは誰もお話しすることはできません島で唯一クジラとお話しできる父上ネプチューンですらそれだけは無理
So it made her realize that the impossible is possible sometimes.
の巨大な海洋類とそれが白星なの？
ええ、いつかその力を正しく導く者が現れ、そしてその時、世界には大きな変化が訪れる。
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? And that's what Vanderdecken thinks he is? Are we talking about Luffy? But it didn't look like the silhouette of Luffy, but I guess it was just a general silhouette. It made me think about Shanks for some reason. That silhouette.
力にはまだ彼女自身も気づいていないし、コントロールもできない。もしも白星の身に前以上にショックな出来事が起きたら、今の彼女は無意識に海洋類を大暴走する。
Yeah.
そしたら魚人島なんかべちゃんこだ。どうしたらいいの？
And the Celestial Dragon didn't realize that, I guess. Because I think that that's kind of power that, you know, the world government or whatever would want to get their hands on somehow, if they knew about it. Or at least make sure that it's not used against them, you know?
署名は予想を超えるペースで集まっておった。島民は人間に不信感を抱きつつも
But they wanted to believe in Otohime, okay? In her belief, at least.
また署名書いたよ。それは不正です。一人一票と決まっています。ごめんなさい。でも、その気持ちだけはありがたく。
I mean, do they count the children? Like, I don't know. Like, on the one hand, I really appreciate that the children get a voice in this. I guess, yeah. Someone burned the whole thing? Who did that?
署名箱から突然水はーって火を消すんだ。なんてことだ。
Someone who didn't agree, I guess.
いけません。危険です。
大事な署名なのです。守らなければ。
You could just get them to sign again, please!
ください。あとは我々が。
Who the fuck is that? Was it... what's his name? What's his name? You know, the fishman?
どこかに狙撃手がおるぞ。王族を守りしろ。母上。ここは危険です。竜宮の使いを早く。王子。
Oh my god, they were all there to see it. Oh my god, don't fucking touch her.
深星王子、悔しいのは私です。
王妃、早く手当てを。
What are you doing?
犯人がどこの誰であれ。私のために怒らない。
Oh, that's so, I'm so angry with this though. Because they just have to bottle their emotions. I guess they can cry about it, but like they're not allowed to do anything about it. I mean, not even kill whoever it was, but just hold them responsible. Honestly, I kind of want her to. Oh god, I just hate this so much.
もう一息よ。本物の太陽のもとまで。
Whew. Like I get it, but at the same time I hate it. Like I hate it. Ah. Jesus. So my first thought was that it was I don't remember his name, but like the first person that jumped in my mind who could have done this was Hordy is his name, because we already know that he was angry, that he grew up in the Fishman district. He saw, his role models were like Arlong and Tiger and stuff, but like he saw how horribly, fishmen were treated and stuff. And he had all these like a lot of resentment. And at the same time, he also saw that, like, he didn't agree with what Otohime was doing, I guess. He wanted to kill, you know, the celestial dragon. And honestly, I understand it. I mean, okay, fine, I get it. But that also, I think, like, I don't know if it's him. But I also think that it really, because I'm not sure how old he was at the time. But he's already a guard or like, you know, a soldier or whatever in that. So it makes it that it could be him. And I also think that he has like a right in some way to be angry about Otohime in particular too. Because again, it feels like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he did become a guard and a soldier or whatever, become part of the army. So I guess he did get out of the Fishman district. But again, I don't see it anywhere addressed that Otohime really tried to make their life better, you know? Or not only Otohime, but like anyone in the royal palace really cared about what was going on with people in the Fishman district. And I know that they, you know, they had like these like Tiger, they did respect him a lot and stuff, but at the same time there were still children growing up in that district alone, orphaned, and you know, and with a lot of resentment. And I don't think it's not addressed anywhere that anyone cares. You know, like they just at some point they claw their way out of there, and if it works out, that I guess they become the soldiers or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works, but like it doesn't seem like anyone is doing anything to make their life better. And so it again brings up this idea to me, like, again, I don't know who did this, but again it brings up this idea that, you know, Otohime was really worried about the fate of the island as a whole and wanting to, you know, go up to the surface and making, you know, having better relations with the humans. But what about those fishmen who are suffering in the island? Like, what about those who are just abandoned, you know? She cares about the children, but we don't ever see it pointed out that she took care of the children who are like the orphans, who are growing up in squalor and stuff, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's like, it's obvious that she took care of all the children, and it's obvious that she did try to do something to change things in that regard, but it's not, I don't feel that it's pointed out, you know, directly in any way. So I feel like people grow up in that region, in that district, like Arlong, like Hordy and his friends, they don't have a reason to really care about what Otohime wants to do or anything, you know? Like, they don't feel that they're part of it in some, I mean, again, they do become part of it, but it's like a choice that they make. Like, Hordy became a soldier just so he could learn, you know, how to fight and stuff, you know? Like, it doesn't feel, so that's like an obvious kind of blind spot. I'm just like, that it was not addressed, and I don't know. And it just makes me feel like Otohime wasn't really, like, she was so caught up in all these grand things that she didn't pay attention to, you know, what was right under her nose in some way. And I mean, I can understand that happening. Like, I don't, like, I definitely hold that against her in some, if that's really the truth. But at the same time, I do understand her need to like she's taking care of the whole island, I guess, in some way. Like, she was so preoccupied with all of that. It was so much bigger in some way. And I think maybe she thought like, oh, I'm going to make life better for all the children and for all the fishmen on the island. So that includes everyone. And so she didn't care about, not that she didn't care, but she didn't notice maybe enough to care about, you know, the people kind of falling by the wayside or something, you know? I'm not sure about this. Like, I'm not sure if this is intentional or if it was just like, oh, you know, of course she cared about everyone. We just don't get to see it exactly. But at the same time, we also know the Hordy grew up with a lot of resentment and came to the point that he hates Neptune and he hates everything that he represents and he hates everything, you know? And I mean, I kind of get that if that's, you know, the life that he led, where I don't know how much contact he even had with Otohime before he became a soldier, you know? If they felt her influence where they were. Like Arlong, like also Jinbei kept saying like, oh, Arlong should understand Otohime's faith and stuff. But if Arlong also grew up there, maybe he doesn't want to understand. Maybe he doesn't care, you know? Like, it feels kind of like far away from him, because all he sees is the human cruelty, and he doesn't get a lot, you know, to stand against it in terms of like someone to protect him from within the Fishman Island itself, you know? I guess. I don't know exactly. Again, I don't know. But so that's like one thing. So it makes sense to me if it is Hordy or someone like him that kills Otohime. I don't know if we're going to discover who it is. I hope we do. Because, I mean, Otohime was making a point of like, oh, it doesn't matter who it is. Just, like, accept it. Just move forward. Just be stronger than this and, you know, be the bigger person and just ignore this, I guess, or something. But it's but I hope that we do discover who it was. Just so that, you know, it will give some legitimacy to this idea that, I don't know. Like, I hope that the story in some way is telling us that, like, that as much as Otohime was like someone to look up to, and she was really trying hard, and she was obviously she had good intentions at heart, she also made mistakes, or she also didn't, you know, she didn't see everything or something, or she kind of maybe, you know, unintentionally kind of ignored things that were right there, kind of, you know. I hope that that's where we're getting at, because that's what I feel about her. I feel mixed about her. Like, I can understand the admiration toward her. At the same time, I'm just like, she's just too idealistic, and I think there's something very destructive about that, especially when she's like dying right there and she's telling her children, hold it in, you know, be happy, be strong, be, you know, move forward. And I mean, I do understand it to some degree, because like, they're not just people, they're the princes and, you know, and a princess, and the fate of the island is on their shoulders, and they have to, I guess that's what happens, you know, when you're royal family, then you have to, like, you can't just, you know, wallow in your own feelings and just do whatever you feel you should, like, you know, just kind of let anger rule you or take over you. Oh my god, I just realized that the window's open, that's why it's so loud. Okay, I'm sorry. So, you know, but it was just so, like, that part when all the princes were like smiling and being like, oh, we're okay. I was just like, oh my god, that is like trauma for the rest of their life. That's like a psychological, I don't know, breakdown just waiting to happen. Oh my god, like, it was so, like, I hated that. And I don't know if I was supposed to just feel like, oh my god, they're so brave, look at them, they're holding their emotions in check and stuff, or I was supposed to feel frustrated, like, Jesus Christ, their mother just died, you know, and shit is just bad. And sometimes you're just, I mean, I understand not going out and just killing whoever it was, but definitely trying to find out who it was, definitely putting them under arrest or something, you know, doing something. Like, sure, they're allowed to cry about it, but even that, not really, because they had to keep up, you know, smiling faces and happy faces for their sister. And again, I do understand that Shirahoshi, they couldn't just let her feel all the way that she felt, because then, you know, the Sea Kings would I mean, they would react to that, and that could mean like an actual destruction of the island. So it's like actual life or death, that they have to keep her calm in some way. But at the same time, I really wanted her to rage. I wanted her to just, you know. So I hope that that's kind of the whatever's gonna happen now with Luffy. Huh. And the, you know, the whatever it's called, like the prediction, the provision, whatever they called it, from Madame whatever her name was, she said, oh, Luffy's going to bring about the destruction of the island. And I'm thinking, he's with Shirahoshi right now, maybe she's destroying the island with her sea kings or whatever, with her feelings that are held back for so long. I kind of hope that's what's gonna happen, honestly, because I kind of want that. I kind of want that to, you know, I kind of want them to just be like, ah. God, it was so, like, it was so frustrating. I hope, I'm telling you, I hope that's what I was supposed to feel. That, like, this is not the right way to deal with things. Not that I know what the right way is. Not that I think that, you know, raging uncontrollably would really solve anything. If not, like, that it wouldn't make things worse in some way. But just, like, just, you know, the whole thing, just, you know, Otohime just, you know, being like, I know you've being harassed by humans all this time, and I know that the celestial dragons are horrible, and I know that, you know, we've suffered for so long, but still, just, you know, just bear it, just be the bigger people, and just, you know, so that we can have a better future. And I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, fuck this. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I don't know what Luffy's about to do with Shirahoshi after this story, but I just want things to break. I just want people to just rage after this episode, honestly. Oh my god. I mean, especially Shirahoshi, because she was just, you know, the whole thing of her being contained is her containing herself too. She has to be super, like, control her emotions, and she's not allowed, like, she cries, but she's not allowed to do more than that. She cries, I think, because she has so much more feeling inside her, and she's just keeping it all locked up, you know, and it's just too much. Anyway, so, like, it makes sense to me that it would be Horty, I guess, because then we would, like, I mean, he's the villain right now, I guess. He's the enemy, even though, again, I get him. I mean, and I think I'm supposed to, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so I get him, but he's also, at this point, like, we know that he has, it's really hard to feel sympathy for him now, because he doesn't care about his friends, he doesn't care about anyone. And I kind of get him, though, because nobody seemed to care about him. I don't know. But anyway, God, this was hard to watch. My God. So frustrating. I just wanted to shake everyone. Just be like, wow, I don't know what. Just do something. Just go crazy. Just go crazy. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where this story is going. And also I'm thinking, like, about Horty being the actual one who killed Otohime. I don't know. Like, it's almost too obvious, I guess, because, I mean, who else could it be? Like, I think maybe, I mean, not who else could it be, but just, I feel like there could be a twist or something. Like maybe I'm expected to think that it's Horty, and then it's not gonna be Horty. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. But I just, I had a lot of feelings about this episode. My God. And I mean, I'm just like really, really, like, hanging hopes on Luffy bringing this out of Shirahoshi or something, because he's been like, oh, like, he told her he hates her because she cries all the time. And I think, you know, what he wants her to do is to act, is to do something. So, because I don't think Luffy's about holding his emotions back, you know? Because I think it's not that he doesn't want her to cry, it's that he wants her to do more than just cry, you know? And that's kind of what I want at this point. I want her to just, I don't know. I don't know how it's all gonna go, and I don't know, like, if I'm totally off in how I'm interpreting this whole thing, you know, but that's just how it felt to me, like, ugh, wow. Anyway, really interesting and so frustrating. Episodes 547, 548, and 549. Let's get into this episode. Yeah, there's no one left. Oh my God. Yeah, burn the world, please. Who are you? Who are you? Is he just a random dude? Oh, Hody, I think it's you. I think Hody killed him and framed him. Although I don't know why he was there, though. Because Hody was the one who found him, right? And it just feels too convenient. It seems like he might have done it on purpose. But where did this human come from? I mean, okay, fair enough. I guess it was just passing by. And he obviously uses it to flare up the hatred for humans. But I think Hody might be behind it. It's definitely a blow to everything she was trying to achieve. No. Yeah, I still think it's Hardy, but we'll see about that, I guess. The king is having tantrums. And then he decides not to do anything though against the humans, and then that's maybe why Hardy thinks he's... Because they control their anger. But Hardy sees that as weakness. Oh my god.
左大臣、犯人は銃を持っていましたので、兵士が撃ちました。人間でした。復讐の連鎖はいつ始まったのかわかりません。殺せばその輪に組み込まれるだけ。そしてそれを見た子供らの目は鋭く、心に憎悪を生みすさんでゆき、やがて連鎖の輪はさらに大きくなる。我が妻を殺した者をなぜぶち殺してはならんのか。わしには到底わからんのじゃもん。
Yeah, it's really hard to. But as a king, you have more responsibility than that, I guess. But now you're left with the responsibility. Yeah, that's really hard. Like to mourn, and you have a family and children who kind of need you at the same time. God, they don't have enough crap to deal with. So they weren't even allowed to really, like, you know, bury her and mourn for her. Like, officially. Jesus. Jesus!
死の間際に母は嬉しそうに言いました。本物の太陽の元までもう一息。2年後の世界会議には
Well, this leave him something to hold on to, I guess.
間に合わないかもしれないけど、6年後もあります。10年後にもあります。一から始めましょう。またいつかみんなの心の傷が癒えた時、一緒に太陽の夢を見ましょう。
I guess it's one way to kind of deal with your grief, you know, to hold on to a dream that your loved one who died had, and you can do something about it somewhere, something, even though it's so hard in this situation. My god. The princess too? And Hardy was really mad about that, probably.
お前さんの故郷を苦しめたというアーロンは、つまりわしの弟分なんじゃ。アーロンは近くの海軍を買収し、海軍本部に情報が届かんように手を回しておった。
So he didn't know what he was doing?
結果、お前さんや多くの人々を苦しめてしまった。
Okay, so that's why you're responsible. I mean, okay.
じゃあてめえ。
腹切れ。
サンジ。
Yeah. Who are you to decide that? How do you know that? Let her talk. Yeah. What? She knows. And he's done for. And they're happy now. So. Yeah, yeah. We really need. We don't want to kill himself, okay?
そんなひどい渦の中出会った仲間もいるのよね。恨みはしないわ。だから私の人生に勝手に謝らないで。
Yeah, that's the other way around. Her kind of saying like, okay, fishmen made my life horrible, but I'm not gonna hold all the fishmen responsible. And she's exactly, yeah. But I feel like it's a little different because I don't know.
俺たちに起きた悲劇を、人間たちへの怒りを。
But it does show them that it's possible, you
気
know,
に病むこと
to
がない人
keep to move forward from.
魚人街で共に育った弟分。
なんちゅうもったいないことは。かたじけない。
わかるぜ、兄貴のつるれ立場。
You know, you've never been a big brother though.
タイガーもよ、おとしめもよ、俺らみんな大好きだぜ。うっせえ、ランキーてめえ。
Luffy.
ル
珍しく真面目に聞いているかと思って。
Did he just sleep through the whole thing? Is that what happened there?
ジンベエ、泣いてんのか？
Oh my god, okay, Luffy.
ま、いいや。で、ジンベエ、弱虫の母ちゃんが捕まえた強盗はどうなった？
お前ほぼ寝てたろ。オープニングの話だよそれ。
そうだっけ？ほっといたしますね。そう？
That's sweet.
境遇が少し似てるからかな。
Yeah. Like on both sides of the conflict, I guess.
今頃国中もっとひどいことになってるはずだぞ。お前さん、ホーディの計画を知っとるのか？
Kill everyone,
あの男、
including himself.
出た後魚人街で何か企んでおるとは踏んどったが、ホーディはアーロンさんを超えるほどの人間嫌い。
Yeah,
魚
well.
人族の恨みと怒りだけを食って、それを糧に育ってきた
But
よう
I
な男な
mean,
んだ。
I don't know if I can blame him all the way for that. The thing is that he doesn't care about anyone.
同族の魚人には手を挙げたりしない。
Yeah. But again, I don't know if I can blame him for that because I don't know what anyone ever did for him. Honestly, I don't know.
世界会議が開かれる年だろう。今
Like-
回いよいよネプチューン王が世界に対して魚人島移住の意思を伝えに行く予定だ。
That makes sense
いや、
that he would
阻止だけじゃ終わらね
that
え。
he would act like right now. A snail phone? Oh, is it big? I wasn't sure.
映像電電虫。
Hardy talking to everyone?
これは
Okay.
あいつ。
俺は魚人街の新魚人海賊団船長オーディ・ジョーンズだ。
Okay. What a cliffhanger. Okay, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I just can't bring myself to hate him after the story somehow. Like, it's not that I think that he's right or that I think that he shouldn't be stopped. Like, to some degree, he deserves to die, I guess, in some way, but because he lost. Because, I mean, what is he even living for? He doesn't care about anyone. He kills, you know, his own people. Like, his hatred eliminates everything, but at the same time, again, if he grew up in a place that was really, like, abandoned by everyone, why would he care about them? Honestly, like, like, I don't know, like, all I grew up with was, like, envy, I guess, and, I mean, I don't know, but that's what it feels like to me. So, like, he saw all the bad things the humans were doing to Fishman, and was also, like, an orphan and had no one that really cared. Like, he was just, like, an urchin or something that was kind of running along and just saying what he couldn't have. And I don't think that anyone really reached out a hand to him. Like, I mean, maybe, like he did look up to Arlong and stuff, but it's not like he was too young when Arlong left. Anyway, like, that's what I feel. I don't know, it just really bothers me. I'll tell you what, like, I don't really know what it took for him to climb out of there and get to be one of the soldiers, you know? Because no one talks about that district as... Like, I don't know what the king or queen are doing about that district. Or, like, if anyone cares, you know? Because no one talks about that. And I don't really get it. Because they do, like, they can, like, apply to be soldiers and become part of, like, Fishman society. I don't know if what I'm thinking, like, because I'm kind of comparing it to, you know, to slums and, you know, when really, really poor people just live there. And it makes sense that they would turn to crime because they have no other way to kind of get through life. So I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to be or if, like, the conditions there are better than that. I mean, because that's what it seemed like to me from what we saw. Like, they were just children kind of running about, having nothing, right? So it makes sense that he would just kind of thrive on hate and stuff. So it makes sense that he wouldn't care about anyone but himself in some way, or the people standing with him to some degree. And even that, not exactly. I mean, not that it makes it honorable, of course, and I mean, he does need to be stopped, but I do feel like for some reason I just feel really sad. I don't know if it's going to be touched upon that, you know, that the way he grew up must have, you know, kind of took away something irrevocable from him, you know? I mean, and of course you can compare that to other people and say, like, not like, you know, Arlong grew up in the same place, and Tiger grew up in the same place, and did Jinbei, I guess, also grew up there? I don't know. Like, and they didn't, like, you know, and they did something else with themselves, and they weren't, like, they maybe were consumed by hatred to some degree, some of them, but, you know, they found other ways to deal with it. But, you know, people react differently to different things, and I mean, he already saw Arlong, and Arlong didn't succeed, so it makes sense that he would just feel like, you know, he has to be more extreme about it or something, you know? I don't know, it all makes me really sad. Ugh. And it was really lovely to see Nami, like, forgive Jinbei. Like, it was important, and it felt like, though, like, of course, you know, Nami potentially could just hate all fishmen for what they did, but, well, we've seen she's not like that, and I mean, she has come to a better place, for sure. I mean, if she's, would have gotten this confession, you know, when her friends weren't with her, or, like, when she was still in a really bad place, and obviously she wouldn't forgive you that easily. It feels like, you know, a long time passed since then, so and I mean, and her family are, I mean, she still lost her mother, and that still, I'm sure it's a trauma that she will carry for the rest of her life, but, like, they have come to a better place. It makes sense that Nami would, you know, be able to forgive, especially surrounded by her friends, surrounded by, you know, this idea that, you know, things can get better. And knowing that Jinbei helped Luffy, I mean, she already kind of forgave Hachi, so, who was actually actively part of that. So, like she's seen more of the world, so it makes sense that she would be more open-minded about all of it. And as for Horty, I don't know what he saw, honestly. Like, for him, he's still kind of stuck in the same place, you know, holding on to the same resentments. And I guess we were also comparing it to, you know, the loss of the queen, you know, and being able to move forward from that. And I guess, yeah, I mean, they had each other, and they had this dream that the queen kind of, I guess, kind of left for them. This dream to, you know, make things better for everyone. And just, I don't know, try to see humans in a different light, or not judge them for just the humans that they met so far. And it's hard. But yeah, I guess they were basically doing the same thing, like Nami and Shirahoshi and her brothers, like, just kind of focusing on what they did have, because they had something, right, to hold on to, and kind of leaving their hatred behind to some degree. I'm assuming if they do find out who it was that killed their mother, I mean, supposedly now they know that it was a human pirate who just kind of came by and killed her for no apparent reason. I mean, not that they need a reason, like, it's not surprising, but if they find out the Horty was the one who killed her, and I think he did, in order to make it very clear that humans can be trusted and all that. Because the thing, that's the difference. Nami got to get her revenge, got to have her revenge against Arlong. Arlong, I think, died, but, like, we've never seen him since, so he possibly died. I mean, I think he died. And I mean, and she knows that, and she, you know, and her friends did that for her, so she's very secure in that knowledge. And the princes, though, well, they think that the one who killed their mother was also killed. That's, yeah, okay, fair enough. So it's like the parallel in that, except I don't think it's really him that killed her, but, you know. Anyway, so they're able to move on. And Horty, I don't know, guys. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. I mean, I hope that I'm not just making that up or something. Or that the show is just going to ignore where Horty's coming from. And again, I'm not 100% clear if it was as bad as I think it was. Or if no one did anything about it. Or if no one, like, looked after these orphans at all. You know? So I don't know what to think. Anyway, we'll see. Let's get into the next episode. And face this Horty dude. Take him down, and I guess. And not have to feel bad about any of it anymore. I don't know. Oh boy. She will. I mean, honestly, just they're getting what they want. They're breaking their spirits. But
あいつ乙姫様が暗殺された時犯人を撃った男じゃないか
coincidence.
ホーディ・ジョーンズだ。この国は一度崩壊する。そして生まれ変わる。新しい王は
Who might be killing himself. Taking these pills. But whatever. I'm sure he can achieve a lot before he dies, I guess.
何を言ってやがる。
Maybe he thinks like, oh, you know, I'll take it. You know, I'll take over and then I'll stop taking it and then I won't die. Or something. He's willing to die, but he doesn't think it will happen for sure.
絶対の規律を設ける。あれほど我が身を顧みず、人間との橋渡しに奔走した乙姫王妃を手にかけたのは誰だ。人間だ。
Yeah, about that, I'm not sure. Possibly, though. That could happen. But it doesn't mean all humans will do it. Hopefully.
あの王様が捕まっている原因は私たちにあるってい
Yeah,
う
oops
か
about that.
ゾロにあるっていうか
Yeah, let's just blame it. Why don't we?
何をしてきたんじゃお前たち。
3時間後、ギョンコルド広場にて、この無能な王の首を切り落とす。
Why are you
今の
waiting for
大
that?
海賊時代は海賊王と呼ばれた人間。
Oh, so he thinks to do the same thing for the fishmen.
ネプチューンの処
Okay,
刑を
that
も
makes sense. I
魚
see,
人が
I
人
see the way
間
you're
を支
thinking,
配す
Morty.
る大魚人時代を到来させる。飽きすればもう二度と手に入ることはない。
Uh-oh.
そしてこのでけえ
Are
箱
all
に
the
は
signatures that they compiled?
この国の過半数を超える署名。つまりこれは裏切り者のリストだ。海へはもういい。そんなもの嘘をついて乙姫を踏みつけるだけで簡単にクリアできる。
So they're going after all of those who signed?
お前たちがこの俺の敵か味方
So
かを
most of
自ら
them?
示した。
Like, when are you going to
海
kill them?
賊麦わらの一味。お前たちにいいものを見せてやろう。この島のどこかでモニターを見てるんだろ。
何をやってんだあいつら。
まさか捕まったの
Okay. I don't know why this is funny to me. I'm just gonna sink them into the water. Okay, they have to... Well, you have time to figure something out. Thank you for the time, though, that you're giving us.
お前たちの首は地上の人間たちへの見せしめにちょうどいい。さあ
I mean, I'm sure that the government or the Navy or something will use that
脆弱な核を断
as a
罪し
good thing. If you
強き
kill
未
the
来に
straw hats.
舵を取るのだ。
But they will have to take care of you, though.
本当に生まれ変わる。
そうはさせない。
Yeah, you should stop him. I'm with you on that one.
それで国が成り立つと思っておるのか。
Well, I don't think... Yeah, he doesn't know what it takes to
身
be
勝手なもんだろう。俺たちにす
a
りゃ
ruler.
お前こそ身勝手な王だった。
この情外せ。やってんだ。来てます来てます。常用外れろ。常用外れろ。常用外れろ。外れるんだよ。外
What
れ。
is happening?
ダメだ。俺免疫なかった。
どうするこの謎の白骨死体。
なんでまたこんなところに。
大型。
このままブルックが死体のふりしてくれりゃ後で俺たちを逃がすことができる。
So of course he didn't.
ずっと海を漂流してたのか。ちょっと気の毒だな。死後50年ってとこか。
ピンポーン。ブルックです。よ。
Oh, Brooke.
いいぞブルック。
What nice? What is nice about this? Touch my bones? No! What is wrong with you? Amazing. We're glad that you're happy.
殺されるって。あ、私もう死んでました。よ。
ナフィその他を呼んできてくれりゃいい。
Really? You're just waiting for them?
ロビンの真似。何？深海魚に食い殺されていないかしら。
Ooh. You found it.
まるで手紙。それの
Apology.
謝罪文。一
What does
体
it say?
誰に謝ってるの？ジョイボーイ。
Joy boy? Really? Okay.
おい。
俺の懸賞金4億だっていつ上がったんだ？それどころじゃないでしょ。
I didn't
明ら
notice.
かに喧嘩売られてんな。
She's gonna go there? What are you?
待ちなさい、白星姫。俺も行かねえ方がいいと思う。
Yeah, you'll just get
ホーディが
captured
今の竜宮
and die.
王国で最も恐れているのは白星姫の才能だ。国王はその攻撃の盾にする
Yeah,
た
she
めの
can't
人
use her
質
power. Yeah,
だ。
that makes sense.
連中の狙いは白星ちゃんってわけか。
だから姫の命を狙える鉄拳と手を組んだ。
Hmm.
厄介なものは全部消すのがホーディだ。
Yeah, makes sense overall.
そうじゃ。
まだ海王類様とお話しさせていただいたことなどは
Yeah, you did.
本当にそのような力があるのかどうかもまだ。
話は終わりか。じゃあもういいな。
Thank you for waiting until I
俺を
finish
竜
them.
宮城まで。
Please.
お前さんらがホーディと戦ってはいかん。
なんで止めんだよ。
Our friends are
俺
there.
たちが人間だからか。お前らが言うとなんか話がこじれるわ。
そうじゃ。お前さんら
They're
が
human. What do you want?
また巨人の残党が人間を恨む。これだけ言うてもわからんか。
俺は行く。
このわからずやが。
ごちゃごちゃうるせえ。止めてんなら止めてみろ。
そういやお前さん、あの男の弟じゃった。止まる気がないんだな。仕方ないの。
What a look. What? You're gonna fight him?
覚悟はいいな。
Really?
坊主。
Right now? Okay. I guess we have 3 hours, so we have some time to kill. I guess. Okay. Some of our crew is, yeah, Hordy has them. But it's gonna take like 3 hours until they drown. So hopefully they find a way to get out of there. Or we go and save them. Jinbei thinks that he can deal with all of this on his own, and he doesn't want Luffy to interfere. Because he thinks that if Luffy interferes, the fishermen will hate humans even more. But if Luffy kills Hordy, wouldn't they see Luffy as kind of a savior or something? I mean, I do get the idea that, you know, you want to deal with it, like fishermen should deal with this. And maybe they'll be wary of, like, it's one thing to have like a fisherman, I guess, who's against you, and another thing to have a human come out of nowhere and kill that fisherman. Like, I guess what Jinbei's worried about is that there will be like casualties, and then Luffy will be blamed for all of them or something like that. And we do know that, you know, they're worried about Luffy destroying the island. And Shirahoshi doesn't know how to control power, makes sense, but I'm sure that it will, you know, at some point it will be used, and it might destroy the island. And I'm like, I mean, the island itself, like, I don't know if it's such a bad idea that it will be destroyed. No, I mean, like, obviously it's gonna be a big shock for everyone there. Like, some of them, or most of them, do want to leave, or at least to have, I guess they want to have like the option of leaving or living, you know, besides like under the sun besides humans, but it doesn't mean that they want to get rid of their, you know, their previous home altogether. But we'll see. Like, I don't think that Luffy, well, I don't know if somehow we come to a point where we want to destroy the island because that's the only way to do something. But at this point, at least, like, we don't want to destroy it. We just want to save our crewmates and stop Hordy. I mean, at least as far as Jinbei is concerned, and I mean all the fishermen are concerned. that, like, I mean Hachi and Kami and all that. Kami's a mermaid, whatever, you know what I mean. But I guess now we're gonna have a fight against Jinbei. And it just, I mean, I don't know, like, is it ever gonna stop hurting to just see Ace mentioned, you know, just like that, you know, and just, I don't know, I can't take it. You can't do that. Oh my god. Just be like offhand, like, oh yeah, you're his brother. And I'm like, Jesus. Okay, anyway, I mean, I didn't bank on a Jinbei Luffy fight right now, but I guess that's what we're getting. So that will be interesting, I guess. Let's get into the next episode.
Luffy 対 Jinbei.
I guess we're really going with this. Okay, interesting. Like, they really feel like they have time right now to, I mean, okay, I guess. But you're in a cage. That's the problem, dude. And you can't run where? How? In the water? At least you're not worried. Dude, what are you talking about? Look, I guess you don't have your sword either. What? Dude! What? Went through a lot in 2 years.
どうしたんだブルック。せめてもう一曲だけでもいい。神よ。
But then after you release that song, won't you want another song? What does it do though?
壁すらすり抜けられるこの技で私が何をしたと思います？
Just
男ならばもうお分かりですね。よいつの間にかこんなところまで水。
What is this helping you right now with? Jesus. Sorry.
巨人空手サメガラ聖剣。
Oh, Luffy's not, like, he's not moving at all. Okay. Yeah, that would have been insane if it was just, like, not affected at all.
大気中の水から体内の水へ衝撃の波動は駆け抜ける。生物は水の塊。ゴム人間
Even
とて
rubber
容赦ない。
man, yeah.
修行の成果はこんなものか。
Oh, Jinbei is cool. Robin?
そこまでよ。
あれじゃドキー。マリンちゃんが危ない。
I'm glad we all got a piece of it. Wait, so Rami just disappeared? What just happened there? Yeah, she can copy her whole body now? Not just like an organ?
お前たち人間への恨みだけにとどまらず同胞にまで手を挙げる心が痛まないのか。同じ魚人族でも人間に味方するやつは全員死刑だとすんだ。ふざけるな。
Go, princes. At least they can take care of themselves.
ジョンコルド広場の父のもとへ急ごう。よし、行くぞ。
Okay, I'm rooting for you dudes.
暴力では民衆の心はつかめん。
But he wants to kill most of them.
ま、せいぜいほざいてる。傷が薄く。
Dude, what the fuck? Why are you wasting so many of them?
痛みが消えた。
あんなに飲んで大丈夫か。
そう。パッパグに錠の鍵をすぐに探してもらってくれ。
Well, where's the key? Maybe Horty took it.
あが待て。
あ、
刀一本でいい。俺の刀を持ってこい。
麦わらのやつら無事かな。
Where are the swords though? Or they're not keeping an eye on them? Way to be creepy, Brooke.
来ましたよ。
You're being subtle about this. Huh, what a dilemma. How are you doing such?
大丈夫か二人とも。あと
Sanji got both of the
考
heads
えて
though.
みろ、ルフィ。人間は凶暴な生き物。人間は魚人を蔑み嫌っている。
I mean, Luffy didn't listen to the story. He doesn't know and he doesn't care.
埋め付けてしまっているのが現実。そこへ重ねてアーロンを討ち取ったお前さんらが再びホーディとぶつかれば
Yeah, it
どう
makes
なる？
sense.
結果、この危機から魚人島が救われる
They
と
won't
し
be
ても
happy about it.
人間に立てつくホーディを。
この島には俺たちのダチが何人もいるんだ。おいハチ。
Do we? Don't we have like 3 of her?
誰にやられたか堅くなに教えてくれねえが。お前。俺たちの味方をしてあいつらにやられたんじゃねえのか。ルフィにとっちゃここがお前の国だってことも理由の一つだろう。
It's a good thing Luffy has
うち
someone
の
to
船
talk
長
for
が
him.
窮地の時にお前が手助けしてくれたそうじゃ
You
ねえか。
did. You really did.
俺たちにとって
We
も
want to do
感
the
謝
same
し
for
き
you,
れ
I
ねえ
guess.
恩人だ。
Is what he was trying to say.
ルフィがそう思うなら俺たちだって
Or
気
or
持
we're
ちは一
going
つ
to
だ。
go against you.
この島を素通りはできねえ。俺たちに
But,
は
but
戦う理由がある。
oh my god.
なぜなら
He ruins everything, Sanji, seriously.
俺は行くっつったら行くんだ。
いや、行かせん、わしに任せろ。
Okay, I guess it did that.
こんなじゃあお前をぶっ飛ばしていくだけだ。
言うてわからんやつは何度でも受けて立つぞ。
He won't understand that. Okay. I don't know where we're going with that. I don't know if there is gonna be a fight or not, but yeah, I'm fine. So Brooke is trying. I mean, okay, I think they'll be able to take care of themselves overall, like through. Hopefully, if Brooke manages to get Papaya to get the swords, if he can get them, and Zoro will release them, and then they'll be fine. But there is the whole thing about how, you know, Luffy does tend to, you know, care for his friends and fight for his friends, and Jinbei is a friend for sure. So I do think that Sanji is right when he's saying like, oh, we have reason to fight, at least for Luffy. I mean, like, for all of them, because Jinbei helped Luffy and they know that, and now they want to kind of return the favor. But they are at the same time kind of ignoring everything he says, which is like, okay. They need to find some kind of balance, if there is, though. I don't know what the choice will be, like what they'll decide to do at the end. If they're really just waiting to fight each other and then whoever wins will have the last word, kind of. I don't know. But Jinbei is making, you know, he does have a point when he's saying that, you know, you're going to fight the fishmen who hate humans. It'll just seem like, you know, like you don't want fishmen to fight for themselves, or you don't think that they deserve, you know, to be equals in some way, even though obviously Luffy's not. I mean, obviously we know that we don't care about that. Like, we have fisherman friends, it's not about that at all. But yeah, it can look like that to people on the island for sure. Like, they will think like, oh, humans helped us just because, you know, Hordy hates them, so they killed him. So like, you know, we can't really fight for ourselves or something. Like, humans will never allow that in some way, I guess. That could be like the underlying message there. But of course Luffy doesn't care. So I don't know what we're hoping will happen here. And obviously Luffy's just going to hold back and not do anything. But at the same time, I don't feel it's right to just, I don't know, for Luffy to just barge in when Jinbei's so obviously against it, and he has good reason, you know, as far as he's concerned. But Luffy doesn't care. He didn't even listen to the story. He doesn't care. I mean, that's what makes Luffy Luffy. Like, he just sees, you know, what's right in front of him. He doesn't care about anything else. And he makes his own judgments about that. And he doesn't care if people don't agree with him, which is, yeah, you kind of had to deal with that. And I mean, okay, well, at least, like, even if Jinbei fights on his own, even though I don't believe that will happen, but, like, not really, because he does have, like, the princes are fighting already. Like, they're strong, and they're defending, you know, their island, and they're not gonna go down that easily, hopefully. Then again, though, Hordy's coming out of the palace, I guess, to fight them, or like to, I'm not sure, to kill all of those who are, you know, who left their signatures or something, I guess, to take over before they kill the king. I don't think anything else happened in the episode. Like, it just feels like build up toward something. We're just like still, yeah, going through it. And I definitely wonder how the story of the island's gonna come in at all. Eventually, we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Special thanks to my top Patreons: Redding Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Terranor, Michael Gabriel, Shadows Moon, Marsh, and Stone Tree. And to the rest of my amazing Patreons, who without their support I would never be able to keep on doing this. Thank you so much.